welcome to Ecoholics Heart to Heart with Toppers. Our guest for today is Indian Economic Service All India Rank 11, Anisha Gauhar. Welcome to the show, Anisha.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
This winter has indeed brought some blossoms and laurels for your family.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
So, to start with, every topper has this result checking story and the family reactions that follow. Firstly, were you expecting this?
Actually, we were not expecting the result to declare very soon. It was just a week. On the Thursday, I gave my interview on 22nd December, and just on the next week, we got the result. And after my interview, I went on a family trip, and then I was just forget about that. I have to check my result. I was just all relaxed, and when I came back home, then I was sleeping. I was just chilling and listening music around in the afternoon, and then suddenly I got message from someone that result has been declared, and I just opened my PDF and I just saw my name in middle of the PDF, and I just scroll on the left side, and I saw that it is written 11, and I was like, oh my god, I got this rank. This is so unexpected. There was no one at my home. I just went toward my bhabhi, and I was crying literally that I don't need to go to the process again. And my bhabhi called everyone, like my father. He was too emotional, and I called my brother. Everyone came home, and then we enjoyed. We shared some happiness together, some quality time, and that was so blissful, and I was grateful for that.
I think these are the best kind of tears one can ever have.
Yes, exactly, definitely. That day was the awesome day, one of the best moment of my life.
Okay. Now to start with, we can have a brief background about you so that aspirants can relate to your journey more.
Oh, yes, sir, definitely so. Sir, actually, I'm not a student of economics. I just joined economics in the year 2017. So from there, my journey of economics started. Before that, I did graduation in mathematics, BSc mathematics and statistics. After that, I gave exam IIT JAM. I cleared, and during the counseling, I got IIT Roorkee. So from there, I did 2-year course, MSc in economics, and suddenly I just realized that I have an interest in policy making and research oriented work. So I go for it. After my convocation, I started preparing for it.
So you did not, even after IIT Roorkee, you did not opt for placements.
I was very clear that I'm not a person who is made for corporate life. I just see myself in policy making and in research oriented work. So that is the thing that I feel that I was clear at that time, that uh, I didn't like I just try corporate for some time and then realize that I have to go in a government job. I was very clear at that time only. So accordingly, I planned my journey.
So how did you figure out that it was Indian Economic Services that you wanted to pursue? What was the motivation behind it?
Okay, sir. The motivation just came from the thesis that I did in my master's. It was based on the women and children. So it made me curious, like how India runs, like there's so much poverty, and there were. I just feel like that. How can I contribute my knowledge and whatever I'm learning in this course? So, and also from the family and from the background I belong to, I have seen so many women and children, like they are lagging behind the opportunities. They are not getting enough things to be prosper in their life. So I was just thinking, let's do something in direction. So that was the time I decided that I will give a try to Indian Economic Service, and this is the only platform where I can give most of the my knowledge and most of my dedication and hard work toward this. So I just clicked at that time.
Okay, so That was quite an inspirational story. How you
Yeah.
switched from PCM to
Yes, exactly. Oh, my life is just like a up and down. Like I've changed from mathematics to statistic and then to economics. Yeah.
okay. So finally, we can say that fiscal policy are in good hands now.
Yes, I think many of my friends can do wonders in this service.
Very nice. Now, it is said that well begun is half done. How did you start off with your preparation post your post graduation?
Okay. Sir, after my convocation, this is in the October 2019, I started preparing for Indian Economic Service. My base was not strong since I have studied only for 2 years. So it was a really daunting task for me to cover all the topics. So, firstly, I just watched videos of the topper, followed some blogs, go through the syllabus, go through the previous year paper. So, initially, it was like I can't do it, but inside I just made myself that you can do it, just give it a try, and this is the only thing that you will be happy while doing it. Like if I am doing something else, if I am in a corporate, then definitely I will not be happy, my utility will not be increased. So I just made myself that you have to do it, so this is your real motivation, so just go for it. So accordingly, I just planned and do it. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. We can now get into the tricks of the trade or the paper wise strategy.
Yes, yes, definitely, sir.
Okay, so let's move with GS first. Did you find GS too vague
Hmm.
and too much syllabus was given for GS? How did you cover that?
Okay. First of all, there's no syllabus for the GS for our exam. So it was like an ocean for us. Like we can't demarcalize that which topic we need to cover, which topic we don't need to cover. So but for me, I have an interest in GS. I followed some news, I followed some YouTube videos where I got insight of the current happenings, and also I love history, quality. So initially, I started reading NCRT when I started preparing for it. So it got me interested that I can start from the basic. So I started from the basic, and when the exam approaches, then I strategized into reading that thing which is beneficial for me and which came directly from my paper. So I look for from the previous year paper, mark down the point that this is the topic where the most of the questions asked. So I specifically prepare for it only and made a note out of them and practice. I also did some answer writing practice, and I also made some uh, uh, framework and how to approach that question so that my answer is more presentable to the examiner. So this is how I prepared for the GS. Actually, the interest lies that I didn't find it like it's boring or something. I have an interest, and accordingly, I did it.
It was a break from economic subjects for you.
Yes, it was a blissful subject. Like, oh, it's very good to know about your country, to know about your its geographical condition, its history. So it feels so good when we study all these things.
And definitely for the future officers, it should be a mandatory paper.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay, so now coming to the English paper, how much did you prepare for English and how did you prepare for it?
Okay, for English, I think it's go hand in hand. It's a parallel kind of preparation. We usually neglect this paper, like we are more focused towards the subject paper, all the economics paper, and pay little attention to the GS and English. But I did some preparation for it. Like I ordered a book for the Pressy writing. Also, I ordered a book for the essay. Yes.
That's amazing. Your research paper was also on the same lines.
Yes, yes. I did a lot of research.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now coming to the four papers,
Yes,
which
sir.
of the four papers did you find the easiest of all?
Okay. So we can't say that which was difficult. So it just depend on how much time I have given to the particular paper, and on how much dedication and hard work I have put it in to learning the answer writing techniques. So it depends on paper wise.
Okay. Now, attempt wise,
Hmm.
what do you think you improved over the years?
Obviously, sir. Actually, this is my the first focused attempt. In the
Okay.
previous two attempts, I was no near about the cutoff. I was like far, far behind the cutoff. So I think I this is my personal mistake that when the exam approaches, there was some family issues or some personal problems that I couldn't able to read and revise the thing. So this backfired me that I couldn't able to reach near the cutoff. So just my first attempt, I gave interview for my PhD and I got selected at IIT Kharagpur. And currently I'm doing PhD from there. So this attempt goes along with the PhD preparation. So that's how.
Okay. So, what exactly did you improve
Hmm.
from the first attempt to the third attempt? Was it the paper wise preparation? Was it
Hmm.
the sources did you change? Was
Yes.
it the answer writing practice that you did more?
Hmm. Yes, sir. The three things which I want to mention here that I did in this preparation. First is that I was consistent in this preparation. I was like that on the daily basis, I have to add on my notes. Second thing is that I revised a lot in this attempt. In the previous attempt, I was like that I have read this topic, I understood this topic, I have clarity over this topic. But the point is that whatever you are reading, the main thing is that how much you have retained this for a longer period of time. And then the second part comes that how will you throw it on a paper, how will you throw it in a answer format so that you can fetch some good marks. So this was the technique that I realized in this attempt, and I focused more on revising the things and reading the same thing for multiple times and limiting my resources. So these are the techniques that helps me in this attempt. So I would like to advise all the coming aspirants to focus more on revising the things, writing the answer dedicatedly and continuously, and be consistent always, because consistent is the key to the success that I realized in this attempt. Yes, sir.
Consistency is the key, and you have been
Hmm.
consistent for 3 years. That's the most difficult part, I feel.
Yes,
But
sir.
talking about the mental preparation of it,
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm doing PhD, so it's like balancing two things. And I also have an interest in research. So after my written exam, I fully get into the research, and it's very difficult to get out from the research and put your energy into something else. So it was little bit difficult, but with the support of family and friends, and with the positive hope inside me, that sailed me through this.
and in the
Yes,
tough
sir.
times, what did you do to keep yourself motivated?
I love to be alone in my room. So I just talk to myself. I just made myself positive that one day I will be an IES officer. One day you will clear it, because this is the goal that you have started with. So in the long run, you will be going to do this. And in the back of mind, I always manifest this thing that whatever you have think that you will do this in sector in for the women and for this kind of thing. So you have to be reached at that place firstly, then you can do it. So this is the kind of motivation that pushed me throughout all the days.
That's great, I feel.
Mm.
Now, coming back to the four papers, can you briefly mention the sources from where you have read and some value additions from where you have added to your notes, which helped you
Hmm.
immensely?
Okay, so we can talk paper wise.
Yes.
Okay, so for the paper one, my base book was Kutsonis. I followed religiously this book, and I don't know how many times I have read it. So, in the first reading, whatever I made notes on it, it keeps on adding when I do second reading or the third reading. So every time you read that similar book now, you find out that some point has been missing out, and you have to add on your notes. So I don't make different notes. I just made one page notes, and I keep adding on it with different ink of the pen. So it's feel me that I have add on the points. So my base book was Kurzweil's, and the previous year paper was very important for this paper because many of the questions are very repetitive, and I just try to solve past 10 years paper. It is more of a like of a numerical type. So I practiced a lot, and mainly I focus on the areas where I have a strong point. And also I have seen that from this area questions are asked, and we can fetch more of the marks, like from the game theory, from the linear programming, and from the input output model. So I prepared it very well, and luckily this year I attempted more question from it. So I think if we strategize the topic wise learning, then we can fetch good marks. And also, I tried that in the final paper, I will attempt all of the question, no matter what the thing, but I will try to attempt all of the questions so that there's a less chance of missing out in the marks. So this was the strategy for my phase paper one. For the international economics, I followed the Salvatore. And for the economic thoughts, I rely on the internet. So it's just a mix of the resources, but make sure that you have limited of it and focus on reading it for the multiple times and adding on your base notes. So this is for the paper two. And I also look for the previous year paper. For this paper, I just try to solve like past 7 years paper and try to look for it, what kind of questions are they asking, and try to find out the pattern, like this can be the expected question in this year. So all this thing can go in the mind if you are preparing for it. So in this way I prepared for paper 2. And for paper 3 it is very theoretical, and most of the topics are covered in the previous papers, like industrial economics can be covered in the microeconomics, and environmental and public policy. These two topics are most important for the paper 3. So for the public policy, I rely on the internet, and apart from that, I followed Musgrave and H.L. Bhatia. So these two books are my source. To the paper 4, this is the most important paper because this is a very diverse paper and you have lots of sub parts in it. So for and apart from that, following a particular book, you have to go for the economic survey, budget. You also have to look on the current affairs. You have to follow newspaper. So this is go hand in hand. So my base book was Mishra and Puri and Uma Kapila. Since I have been preparing since from last 3 years, so Uma Kapila, Mishra and Puri, and some other resources were in my list. So and from and the topic wise, like history and planning, like fiscal policy, agriculture, industry, labor. So I made notes out of it from wherever I read some content, and I just revise it. And for the paper 4, I just want to mention it that during the first attempt, I find out that the paper is mainly focused on policy, some policy of the government, and some views making type question. So I focused mainly on that. Whatever I am reading, I am able to make some views on it so that I can put on it a paper and in an answer format. So that's how I prepared for Indian economy. Yes,
I think
definitely.
opinion-based questions would have helped you in the interview preparation as well.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Indian economy is a paper that is going to help you till the entire career or till the interview. So it's an interesting paper that you have to keep update yourself.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
very nice.
Hmm.
But I got stuck where you mentioned that you started predicting UPSC previous year. From previous year, you started predicting the questions that
Yes, sir.
come. What was
Yes.
the process behind it? How did you do that?
Okay. Initially, when I started preparing, then let's say just for the paper one, the first topic was that we have to cover is the consumer demand theory. Demand theory. So what I did, I just write the consumer demand theory, and I write the topic which is came in the previous year paper. Like 20, 30 topics there were. So and I just try to find out that this year they have asked this question from this topic, and the next year they have asked topic from this. So I just made like कि, इस साल नहीं पूछा है तो next year they can definitely ask this. And also we have realized that on some of my friends that initially paper one format was different, but it's changing now. Its topic is now more heavily towards input output model, game theory. There's definitely a 5 mark question from the game theory, also from the econometrics. So I just keep myself that this is the topic where more marks of the questions has been asked. So I have to prepare this very well so that I can attempt those questions and can fetch good marks. Like if from econometrics, 20-mark question is definitely asked. So I need to prepare it so that I can attempt those 20-mark question and I can get some good marks. So this is how I strategize the paper. That my main motive was that I have to attempt all the question, and secondly, I have to maximize my score in each paper. So this was my target while writing the paper.
That's the
Hmm.
use of trend line to another level.
Yes, so
Okay.
yes, sir. Mm.
Now coming to the interview experience, how was your actual interview and how were your mock interviews?
Okay, actually, I have given 3 mock interviews before the final interview. So it was just like the mix of everything. Like some interview, few interviews goes good, and few interviews was like not good. But and at the end, from the mock interviews, I got some positive point that where I have to improve a lot. But due to the time constraint, as I'm doing PhD, so I didn't focus much on the interview. But I made myself that on every day I have to read something. So for the interview, it's like that I followed some digital thing, like in my mobile, in the WhatsApp, I message to myself whatever I'm reading throughout the day, and made some point, like if I found out some data points related to some sector, then I quickly type in the WhatsApp and send it to myself. And for communication skill, I record in WhatsApp, and I ask my question to myself and record it and send it to myself, because I don't have time to write on the copy and to give proper time for the interview. So this is how my preparation goes. And for the final interview, it was very smooth. It was very nice. The panel was so good, and they have checked for overall the personality. Overall, I was satisfied with my final interview. And when I came back from the interview, and when I approached towards my family, then I was smiling, like, yeah, I did it. Yes.
That means I think you
Mm.
have led the interviewer to your strong points.
Yes, definitely. I made them like
So how did you do that?
uh, during my interview, my main focus was that I will mention that I am doing PhD from IIT Kharagpur, so they can ask something from my topic on which I am working. And also, I have mentioned my master thesis that was on malnutrition. So the second panel member did ask me question from the malnutrition. So all the discussion were on that side only. and chairman asked me from my home state and home city, that is Gorakhpur. And third member asked me some unexpected question, because I did I have computer science in the 12th standard. So he started me asking who is the father of computer science. So that time I realized, oh my God, I didn't prepare for the computer science, and they did ask me. So, but that was the very basic question, and I cope up with it. And fourth member asked me some theoretical question. So I think it was around what I have prepared for it. So it was like good.
Okay. Now coming to the end part of the interview, how was your experience with Ecoholics, and what points do you suggest us to improve?
Okay. Experience with Ecoholics is so good. You all have sent us a booklet for the interview preparation whenever when we get linked with you. And then we have one-to-one mentorship with with Sanat sir also, and we have one mock. So from there, I learned a lot and add on my interview preparation. So definitely, it's helped me a lot and all other aspirants. And I can't find out that on where you have to improve, but yeah, it's a process that everyone have to improve. So yeah, you have to go on, and definitely it will be beneficial for all the students who are related to your institute.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Anisha.
Thank
Every
you so
topper
much.
now last part. Every topper has a great support system behind them. Who have
Yes,
been
sir.
the pillars of your preparation?
Okay. Here I just want to mention one name. Uh, there is a senior of me at IIT Roorkee. Her name is Priya Singh. She was the real thing. She was a real person who introduced me to the UPSC. Okay, so that was the turning point of my life. And throughout the journey, my big brother is the main pillar of my success. He has been motivating since my graduation. And he's the only person to whom I can talk anything. And whenever I feel down, I talk to him. And apart from that, parents are always with you. So parents is the support system. Without them, we can't do anything. My brother and sister and my friends at IIT Kharagpur, they are very cooperative. They are like, yes, Anisha, you are preparing for it. You can take time for it. We can plan something. We can plan and go on some other day. Let's do your work first. So this is kind of the motivation and support that we get, is the thing that a person can move or on the ladder of the success. So it is all the whole support system. Without them, a person can't be succeed, because there's a lot of mental pressure. And so, this is how I did.
Okay, that's amazing. Thanks a lot,
Thank
Anisha, for being a
thank you
part of
so
our
much.
family. We hope that students benefit a lot from your insights. And thank you for
Okay.
taking out time in these times of celebration. We wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you. So, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you so much.
Thank you.